Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Just Fine. So, recently we've been exploring life purpose. We've looked at how there's marker points through the year which can help us set goals for the future. We've also talked about how we can embody the mindset of that future self, which can help us when it comes to making decisions because we're using the mindset of the person that we're becoming rather than the person that we were. So today I thought we'd stick to that mindset theme and talk about something more fundamental, our thoughts. Now, I'm sure that all of us at some point in time have experienced that inner critic, that voice of doubt that pops up questioning what we're doing, especially when we're making changes and setting ourselves new goals. Now, many of us don't question those thoughts. We just accept them as facts. But what if they're not facts? What if they are simply stories that we have just been telling ourselves? That we repeated so many times that it just feels like part of our identity. Now, these stories are often shaped by past experiences, fear, disappointment, self doubt. And because we've believed them for such a long time, they can quietly influence the decisions we make and the life we create, even if we're not aware of it. So it's just about realizing that when we have those thoughts, it's maybe just taking that moment to stop and just question it. Is this actually a fact? Or is this a narrative that I've been telling myself? Because whilst our thoughts are real, they're not necessarily always true. Just because we think something doesn't automatically make it a fact. Our brains naturally create stories to help us give explanations to situations and experiences that we have. Now, sometimes these stories work in our favour and they're actually beneficial to us. And sometimes these stories don't quite work in our favour and they can actually keep us stuck, especially when it comes to making changes and setting new goals. We might have experienced rejection in the past, and that can create a story that we're not good enough. It might be that we've failed once upon a time, and then we've got this narrative telling us that we're just not good at trying new things. It may be that we had one difficult relationship, and now we have a story that maybe we just can't trust people. And that inner critic will keep on popping back up and reinforcing those stories. Ironically, it's doing that because it's trying to protect us. It doesn't want us to experience those things that we experienced before, have those feelings, that sadness, that shame, that disappointment, that rejection, whatever it might be. So to avoid that, it tries to stop us from being in situations and experiencing things where that could then be the potential of what could happen. And that's what can keep us stuck. Now, the good thing is, we don't have to believe every thought that we think. And the good thing about stories is that we can rewrite them. So it's just about challenging the story by asking ourselves, is this actually true? What evidence do I have to support this thought? What evidence do I have to contradict this thought? Is this something I would say to somebody I care about? Is there another way that I could look at this? Is there another story I could tell myself that would work better for me? So it might be, for example, we're learning something new and maybe we're finding it a little bit challenging. But instead of telling ourselves, I'm just terrible at this, I can't do new things. Maybe it's just reframing that to say, this is something new. I'm still learning. Maybe something hasn't quite worked out the way that we planned. And instead of telling ourselves, well, there you go, I just knew that I'd mess this up. is just reframing that to say, well, okay, I'm human at the end of the day. Sometimes things don't quite go to plan, doesn't define me. What can I learn from this? And instead of telling ourselves that maybe it's too late and everyone else is so far ahead of us that what's the point of trying new things and making changes, is saying, well, I don't have to follow everyone else's timeline. I can make my own. So it's just having that awareness of when those thoughts are there. And when it pops into our head, is actually just saying to ourselves, okay, is this actually a fact? Or is this just a narrative that I have been telling myself for years? And if it is a story, then I have the power to rewrite it. We don't have to believe every single thought that we think, but we can get to choose the thoughts that we listen to. As always, be kind to yourself. Remember to like and subscribe. Take care, and I'll see you next time.